Hello and welcome to another live stream with Hawkeye Rides. I'm Anthony, and we're going to do Q&As throughout. We're also going to discuss the new variants 2026 that we have been putting on the channel, as well as the updating or upcoming vehicles for 2027 that are getting refreshed. Don't forget to check out the membership tab because we do a lot of different videos there, which we give videos that are not published, so you get early access. We're also doing different short videos and different content on that. And we're also doing a target today for 5, I don't know, let's see what it's called. 5 blue super chats. And then if we hit the target, I'll do a live stream with a review. So you get to see action live. This week, what we did was a couple of great vehicles, actually. We went to Dodge and we got the Durango Hellcat, which was an awesome vehicle, 710 horsepower, and the 0 to 60, it's around 3.5 seconds, which when we finish up the edits, you'll see it's crazy what's going on with that. Dodge just does an excellent job when it comes to giving that full performance with that Hemi V8 supercharged engine. We also did the new Grand Cherokee Summit L, which is a third row variant. For 2027, they are getting a refresh. I didn't necessarily touch too much basis on that, so I figured I would bring it up on the chat today for the live stream, so that way you guys can see some of the or hear some of the details, which with the hey James, thank you James, I appreciate that. How are you today? With the Jeep Grand Cherokee, they are doing a full refresh, so the exterior is going to be a little bit more boxy. The interior, though, is really where the highlights are going to be, because some of the materials have been looking outdated because we haven't had a refresh for quite a while. So I'm excited to see how the Uconnect system is going to come into play, and especially for the gauge cluster and whatnot, because like with Audis, what they're doing is every single vehicle is getting basically the same style in the cockpit, which I'm not so happy about the styling on this because everything is going tech forward. I mean, let me know your thoughts on that. And even we have the new RS3, James. I know you've seen it because you have the membership in which I give the access, so that way you can see the videos that we haven't published yet. Awesome vehicle. I actually like that one more than the M2. And speaking about BMW, obviously with the 3 Series, a lot of people may have seen. If you haven't, they've issued or released some of the spy videos. So now you can see the front. The grille is going to be interesting the way people will portray it because it's completely different. The headlight assembly is fine. I just feel like the way they're doing their bumper and the new kidney grille design for that in the X5, it's going to be something that it's kind of, I don't know, some people may just absolutely hate it. But on a good note is with the X7, they're not going that route. So if you are still looking for BMW, X7 is going to get an update as well, but it's going to be basically the same design. The major difference, hey Sean, good evening to you as well. The major difference is going to be a little bit more boxy, smaller grille, but taller from top to bottom for the X7. My brother actually just purchased an M4 competition coupe, which was very surprising. My team actually called me and was shocked as well because we had no idea he was going. So I've explained this a lot to everybody. If you guys are looking for a vehicle, my teams will help you get a better deal. The first thing that the management did was call me and said, we made sure we looked over everything. So it was a good deal. Hopefully he got the best deal out of it, but the papers were already signed. The main thing is he was illustrating that he didn't want anybody upset with the deal that he got. So he had, I think it was like $8,000 or $9,000 off, which is not too bad for an M car, and it's a 2026 variant. For the 2026, I haven't seen his M4 yet. I was supposed to review it last week, but we ended up going to Dodge. We went to Jeep, and then we had 2 different dealerships because we have a new team that we started working with in Brandon, which has been a very great new team that we've added to. the roster, because now we just are going to be bringing the Dodge Durango Hellcat. We're hoping to get a lot more of the V8 Hemis coming in 2026. They are starting to release them, but my other team was telling me next month they'll have some more of the Rams coming in. So hopefully we'll have those in the next coming weeks as well. The actual Hemi engine coming into play is going to be probably more so towards December time. So if you are looking to get like a new Rebel or whatnot, it's going to be a few more months before those will actually be at the dealership. In some areas, they might be a little bit sooner. And we also, where else did we go, Issa? Issa, where else did we go? We went somewhere else too. What other place did we go? Oh, yes. We went to Buick and GMC, which we did the new Hummer EV truck. Thing is crazy. 1,000 horsepower, 11,500 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 was insane. We haven't finished the edits yet, but it will be coming on the channel soon. And for 2026, they have a new carbon edition. I believe that's the terminology or the title for it, which is supposed to get a 0 to 60 in the 2-second margin. I mean, this one was already at 3 seconds, so I thought it was fast enough. Towing capabilities is great. Charging time isn't the best. I think it was like 15.5 hours, but this is typical for these electric vehicles that are non-full electric, meaning like Tesla, Rivian, and Lucid. But overall, we had a ton of fun. A lot of 2026 variants we are going to be bringing to the channel, which we just did the Range Rover SV. That vehicle is also crazy. It was also on Supercar Throttle, which we did 2 different separate reviews. We actually went back and did another one. Apparently, it's still on the showroom floor, but crazy. I mean, you get the S68 engine, which is a BMW engine, and I mean, the only disadvantage with that particular vehicle is you can go BMW and you can literally save probably 50 grand going XP7. And then the power, it's actually a little bit better going that route. And that's another thing with the 2026 variants, just be careful with which company you're going with, because for 2027, a lot of them have been doing a refresh. So BMW, everyone knows because we've talked about it a lot. Audi is starting to release a lot more of their updated vehicles. We're going to have the Q9 coming very soon. The Q7 is supposed to get some updates also. So if you are looking for maybe getting a 26, you may want to hold off because they are going to be doing some changes, especially with the MMI configuration. And Mercedes-Benz, they are starting to go back to V8, so I'm very happy with that. So if it is something like the C63 AMG SE Performance, it's literally a sentence, you may want to hold off. What I've heard so far is they're not going to have a true 63. They're going to go into a 53, but it'll still be like a inline 6-cylinder. So it's not going to be the 4-cylinder that they've implemented. And then with the RS6 Avant, some of the information that I've seen is where they're going plug-in hybrid. And they're also for the S8, supposedly it's going to be downgraded, not the S8, the RS7 is going to be downgraded to a inline 6-cylinder instead of the V8. So if you are looking to get some of those vehicles that have just crazy performance, I'm not saying they're not going to have crazy performance on the inline 6, but you know, there's nothing like a V8. I'm excited for the Q9 as well. I think that is what Audi needed to come out with a long time ago. It's almost kind of late in the game because everyone else has such a large vehicle. And even when I'm reviewing them, Sean, I'm just like, you can't really compare it against an Audi because a Q7 is smaller. It's literally like the same size as a Honda Passport or a Pilot. At that point, it just, I don't know. But the new Q9 is by far, like, the interior looks amazing. The technology is still a little skeptical with some of they're having some little issues here and there with, obviously the tech hasn't been sent in yet here, but if you have the entertainment system, you put that on and you can only use the entertainment screen or the entertainment sound. You won't be able to play your audio sound system at the same time. It doesn't have like a 2-channel. So they just have a few kinks to work out from my understanding with, I have 4 or 5 different Audi teams that I work with. We also did the RS what was it? The RS e-tron GT Performance. That thing was amazing. I would definitely option that car if I was looking for an EV. I think that it's not just fast, but the luxury, it's not so tech driven. And even going into the Q9, it's not necessarily as tech forward as I would say like the Q5s, because they're really going a little bit over the top. And the only reason why I say that is because with the Q9, it's a longer vehicle. Therefore, it's still an actual SUV. Whereas when you go into the Q5, it's smaller. So when you put all the tech into the front and you just kind of leave it empty in the back, and then there's plain screens everywhere, I don't know. Audi just needs to kind of change some of the configuration, maybe not add all that gloss black everywhere. Mercedes, I think, does a little bit better job, but even with the new S Class, I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical with what's going on with that. How is the new Maserati doing? Have you got it dirty yet? Yes, we did. It actually has been in the rain a little bit. The good thing is we have a full PPF, Brian. So cleaning it literally is the easiest thing I've ever done. Hopefully the third row will be larger. Yes, that is the main thing too. For the Q9, Sean, that's really because that Q7 is just too small. Going back to the Maserati, we had to take it back to the dealership again because the carpet, I'm going to actually have a review so that way you can see all these little issues. When we bought the vehicle, the passenger side carpet was pulled so it was exposing the metal and the carbon fiber. So I took it to them. All they did was add like double-sided tape, and they literally put that on the paperwork. There was a couple other things, but I'll kind of go by itemized. So it did it again, and I told him, I said, well, when I put my dash cam in, I could see on the driver's side that it's like flush against the door panel, whereas on this side, it's like an inch off. So I'm thinking maybe it's the sport seats. Whenever they changed out the seats to put these in, maybe they screwed it and pushed the rug a little bit too much. They said, no, this is an open form. They know there's a problem, and you shouldn't be moving the carpet, is what Maserati said. So I just, accepted it at this point, and then I'll take it back in a few months because it's pointless to just sit there and then I'm driving nothing for a week or two. The other issue that we had was some panel gapping. Apparently, we're one of the first people that had this issue, which I'm sure that's not the case. We put the top down and we put it up maybe 5 or 6 times since I've owned the vehicle because it's just so hot. There's really no need to put the top down in 100+ degree weather. So we put it down a few times here and there, and the gapping on the driver's side behind my head, so like right here, is literally like you could put a finger in between the panels. On the other side, it's a little bit more flush. They said that they had to somehow readjust the convertible top. Literally took them over a week to do that. They had corporate fly down, this and that. And I'm just thinking, I mean, it's just one of those little black pieces that's usually between the two doors, that black trim. That's what fell down maybe an inch. So I said, all I would think you would do is just lift it up. It's a trim piece. I actually thought that maybe when they did the PPF, they did something with that, but apparently not. The other issue is on the steering column, the steering wheel, only half of the buttons light up. I haven't been able to source anybody that has an MC20 or an MC20 cello that they can show me a picture of it illuminating, even though it's on the the cruise control button. It doesn't illuminate at nighttime. And I told them, I said, it doesn't make sense. Why would the cruise control button not illuminate and the volume button not illuminate? And they said, well, there's no way we can duplicate it because obviously there's not a lot of them on the road and no one's complaining about it. So those are the issues, unfortunately, with it. The vehicle drives awesome. The engine, the only thing that we don't like is the exhaust note isn't like the best, but performance-wise, it's great. It's a smooth vehicle. We have maybe 250 miles, so we've drove almost or right at 200 miles since owning it, and I've only had to put gas in it one time. The QX60, which we just bought, which is a 25 variant, which I did post a 26 that has some of the updates. Really, the only updates to that vehicle is the exterior bumpers, the headlights, the grille, and the infotainment screen now has Google Maps, Google Assist, Google Play, which I like the interface there because it also mimics onto the Gauge cluster. But with the VC turbocharged engine, I'm sure some of you guys have already seen the review. It still has that like, not like a glitch, but it's really rigid. Whenever you're at a certain RPM, you'll feel it kind of do like this. And when it's doing that, it seems like it's lost trying to find which area to be at, meaning in the variable compression ratio to either be like a 4-cylinder diesel or a V6, because that's the power that comes out of it. But we'll also have a review on that in the next coming days, hopefully. We just cleaned it up and did a ceramic coat. Issa is a car wash guy now, so he did a ceramic coat on that and on our Maserati Ghibli. But with the PPF, what I've found is amazing is literally even when the car is dirty, you just spray it off really briefly, like water or a spray wax, and you just wipe it off. It literally is like not even 20 minutes to clean the whole car. But then the price of it is obviously expensive. But if you're keeping the car for 5-10 years, I mean, at some point, maybe my thinking is you're going to save the time of sitting there for 2-3 hours cleaning the exterior of the car. So I don't know, maybe going forward, if I could get a better deal to do the whole exterior on the vehicles, I might do that, because literally a 20-30 minute clean opposed to 2 hours to detail the exterior, that's a huge difference for me. As for Toyota, we're waiting for the new RAV4 to come out. It should be any day, my team is saying, so I'm excited when that comes. And then the new Prius, which, I mean, not Prius, the new Corolla, it has a lot of similarity to the Prius and the crown kind of mixed. I don't know, I'm kind of having a mixed feel with it, but I mean, it's one of their most popular vehicles, so I don't think Toyota is going to do anything wrong in the sense of reliability. Styling, I think we all end up starting to like it after a while. And one thing I will say with Toyota is they're not going so tech forward. The same thing with Honda. So I kind of like that. Mazda has a few things going on also, which for the CX-5, I am excited as soon as that comes out. I have a few teams telling me or keeping me updated so we can make sure we bring that to the channel as soon as it gets here. And, oh, sorry. And as for the Isa, did you want to? Yeah? You want to come in? No? Oh, you being shy today? Oh. We were cleaning up the whole outside of the house, so he seems like he's a little out of it, but they keep looking at me here and there, so it kind of makes me confused of if they wanted to come in. Same thing with Rizzy. Sorry about that, guys. And yeah, did you want to come in, Rizzy? I'm sure James wouldn't mind saying hi to you. Rizzy said hi, James. Oh, are you coming?
No, my friend got into an accident.
Oh, what happened to your friend?
Yeah, T-boned.
Oh, well, we'll talk about it here in a bit. He said, I'm doing the live stream. And of course, with Corvette, we're waiting for that as well. That's definitely going to be a fun one to come. But one thing that has been very discouraging with Chevy is how they have increased the pricing at the dealership. I've seen literally people doing $50,000 and $100,000 over sticker, and don't ever buy a vehicle like that at all. Because if you're going to spend that money, they do depreciate, and you're buying a depreciated asset. That's just silly. Please tell her hi for me and hope to see you again. Well, I will as soon as she comes back in the room. Apparently she left. I saw the Mazda CX-5. They finally given it and everything in the infotainment screen, sadly. Yes, I did see that too. With the CX-5, they are going the same route as pretty much everyone nowadays, with everything being in the infotainment screen. And we just did the new GMC Terrain AT4. James said hello, Ridwana. And it's the same thing. That infotainment screen, they do have buttons with GMC at least, but with Mazda, they're not going that route, which I don't know. I absolutely hate it. I actually show it on the GMC Terrain. It takes like 6 times. You have to go into all of the infotainment screen just to turn on and off your lights. And if you want to do something like ambient lighting, it's literally like 3 to 4 commands. Same thing for the audio sound system if you want to change anything there. So I think it's over the top, and it's unfortunate because you can't really add any buttons to it because they have too many damn buttons because it's the infotainment screen. I mean, I feel like they've gone the wrong route with the technology because it ends up becoming too much. I do like that most of it is set for auto, so you're not really going to be using some of those features anyway. But in the same category, things that you're going to be using through a daily use, maybe have a quick button so that way you just push it, turn it on and off. I mean, it doesn't make sense there. It does make sense in the auto field, obviously, because they're going to save a ton of money. They're just going to use an LG or Samsung screen and put a tablet right there. And sadly, they literally just stick it like an afterthought. So then you have this dashboard that's filled with plastic, fake aluminum, and then they're putting the tablet right in front of it. And then even on the gauge cluster, I saw the other day somebody had a RS3 and his screen went bad on the gauge cluster. God bless, and I hope nobody has that issue. But if you do, it's literally like different colors. It looks like a rainbow, and you can't do or see anything because the screen's bad. These screens can be anywhere from $15,000 to $5,000, and yet they're making the dash so simplified that you're paying for all this extra technology and you're not going to use 90% of it. There's absolutely no way because you're driving. Even if you play YouTube videos on your infotainment screen, they lock it. So you can only really play it on the passenger side if you're an Audi. And at that point, like, I don't know, it just so much computer technology. It's taking away from the actual drive to the vehicle. I mean, I remember when I was just a few years ago, my kids actually know too. Like I take them for a drive. We literally will just go for a drive so you can enjoy the ride. We'll take some bends in the road and you enjoy it. You play some music. You got a convertible. You put the top down, and usually you drive in areas where there's not a lot of vehicles. Well, now with this technology, it's the opposite. I will say though, on a huge pro with the Hummer EV truck, that Super Cruise is by far one of the best. I've used it in Cadillacs as well. The only thing that sucks about it though is it only works in certain areas. But where I'm getting at with it is that technology, you use the indicator. I actually showed on the review, it moves into the other lane, and then you use the indicator to go back into the lane. It will also tell you to indicate to move out of the lane because somebody's in front of you going too slow. So I think the technology is cool on that side, but that has nothing to do with the infotainment screen or putting every single button there. Well, we're going to finish up the live stream a little early today. We have to head out and do a few things. We had to do a lot of cleaning on the exterior of the house, and we're trying to finish up. We only have like a roomish left, and I think I have to do one wall to finish that one room for our gym room. We will see you guys next week. Hopefully Issa will be good. If not, I'll bring Miriam and Yusuf, one of the two. You guys have an excellent weekend. Take care, Sean, James, and Brian, everybody that came out. See you guys next live stream, and have a good weekend.